Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into something, well, something we all face pretty much constantly, spontaneous speaking.
Hmm.
We put so much effort into preparing for, presentations, big conversations.
Right.
But if you think about it, a huge chunk of how we communicate day to day just happens on the fly.
It really does. Like that unexpected question someone throws at you in a meeting.
Exactly. Or you're asked for your opinion suddenly, or even just, hey, can you introduce yourself with zero warning?
That's so true. And it's funny, we focus on the planned stuff, but those unscripted moments,
Yeah.
they can be surprisingly tough.
Yeah, that feeling when your mind just poof goes blank.
Or the awkward pauses. We've all been there trying to scramble for words. It's pretty universal.
Definitely.
Here's the interesting part. What if we could actually get, well, better at handling these moments? More comfortable, more effective.
Okay, I like the sound of that. So that's our mission for this deep dive.
That's the plan. We've been looking into the journey of someone who really worked on this specific skill, improving spontaneous speaking. And we're going to unpack, the most useful strategies they found, things you can actually use.
Excellent. So where do we start? What's the first big hurdle according to our source?
Well, it seems the first major thing is basically getting out of your own way.
So we're our own worst enemy sometimes.
It looks like it. It's fascinating, actually, how much pressure we pile on ourselves in those moments.
Wanting to be perfect, right?
Exactly. This urge to give the perfect answer sounds super articulate, instantly insightful.
Yeah, feel that.
But the irony is, striving for that perfection often makes us sound less natural, more stiff. The author even mentioned feeling robotic when they were trying too hard.
Oh, absolutely. That resonates. Your internal editor kicks in, starts critiquing every word before it's even out.
Right.
And boom, the natural flow is just gone. What really caught my eye was this weird but fun habit the author developed to kind of break that cycle.
Okay, yeah, this part is, it's quite unique. To stop that overthinking spiral, they started playing this little mental game,
Which was?
just renaming everyday objects with totally wrong names. Like, see a chair, think pineapple. Look at your laptop, think volcano.
Pineapple, volcano. Okay. That does sound a bit weird. What's the thinking there?
Well, it sounds quirky, right? But the idea behind it is actually about disrupting your brain's default patterns. It's almost like cognitive diffusion.
Creating distance from your thoughts.
Exactly. Especially those anxious thoughts about, I have to get this right now, by deliberately doing something absurd and playful.
You're sort of short-circuiting the seriousness.
Precisely. You train your brain not to treat every single spontaneous moment like a high-stakes performance review. It encourages a bit more, looseness, less rigid control.
Like a mental reset. That makes a lot of sense, actually. It prompts you to think, doesn't it? Where do I put that kind of pressure on myself when I'm put on the spot?
Exactly. And that whole mindset piece leads directly into the next point, which is about reframing the moment itself.
Okay, so not just managing the internal pressure, but changing how you see the situation.
Yeah. Instead of seeing an unexpected request to speak as like a threat or a test.
Which is often the default reaction, that little jolt of panic.
Right. The author learned to consciously see it as an opportunity.
An opportunity for what, specifically?
An opportunity to actually show your thinking. A chance to connect with whoever you're talking to.
Okay, so shift from, oh no, they've put me on the spot, to, okay, here's a chance to share my perspective.
Yes. They gave a really clear example. Imagine your manager suddenly asks for a quick project summary.
Yep, familiar scenario. Cue the slight internal fluster.
But instead of that, the internal thought becomes something like, okay, great. This is a moment to show how I'm approaching this, a chance to connect with the team on this.
It's like flipping a mental switch, isn't it? From defense to engagement.
Totally. You consciously choose opportunity over threat.
And you can see how that simple shift could change everything about your delivery. If you go in feeling it's an opportunity, not a trap.
Your energy changes. You're more present. You probably sound more confident, even if you're thinking on your feet.
It really makes you consider for yourself,
Yeah.
One of those situations where I tend to feel anxious about speaking up unexpectedly, could I try reframing just one of them next time? See it as a chance to, build a connection or share what I know.
It's a powerful shift. It all seems to start with that internal perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Another really crucial thing the source emphasized was slowing down and really listening.
Seems basic, maybe, but easy to forget in the moment.
Very easy. The source really highlighted this as a game changer for speaking spontaneously.
Yeah, I know. I've definitely been guilty of this one. You feel the pressure to answer fast, right?
Hmm.
So you only half hear the question because you're already busy trying to craft your brilliant response.
And then you launch into it and realize you kind of missed the point entirely.
Happens all the time.
So the key here is active listening. Really paying attention, not just the words, but the meaning behind the words, the tone, what the speaker is really asking.
And when you properly get the question.
Your answer is just naturally going to be better,
Yeah.
more relevant, more thoughtful. You actually address what was asked.
And interestingly, the source noted that taking that extra beat to listen properly, it can actually make you sound more confident.
Right. It's counterintuitive, maybe, but that pause shows you're considering the question, engaging with it, not just blurting something out.
Instead of just reacting. Makes sense. It does make you reflect, though.
Yeah.
Can I think of a time recently where maybe I jumped the gun or didn't quite catch the full context?
Yeah, it's a good self-check. What's one tiny thing you could do differently next time, just to make sure you're fully hearing them out?
Food for thought, definitely. Okay, so we've covered getting out of our own way, reframing, and listening. What's the final piece from our source?
The final piece is super practical. Having a simple structure, maybe one or two, ready to go in your mental toolkit.
Ah, like a mental framework for when you're thinking on your feet.
Exactly. When you don't have time for notes or a script, having a basic structure helps you organize your thoughts really quickly. Makes you sound clearer, more logical.
Okay, so what kind of structures are we talking about? Did the source have specific examples?
They did. They mentioned two that they found particularly helpful. One is the classic problem, solution, have, benefit.
Right, familiar with that one.
And the other one, which I thought was really adaptable, is what, so what, now what?
So what ate, now what? Okay, can you walk us through that one? Maybe with the example they used?
Sure. The example was about improving teamwork. So if someone asked for thoughts on that,
Okay.
you'd structure it like this. First, the what. Okay, the main issue, the what, seems to be a lack of consistent daily connection between team members.
Simple, clear problem statement.
Then the so what. And the impact of that, the so what, is that we're seeing silos form, which, slows down collaboration, maybe leads to duplicated work.
Right, explains the consequences.
And finally, the now what. So now what we could do is maybe implement a quick, say, 10-minute daily check-in, just to build momentum and keep everyone aligned.
Suggests a concrete action. Yeah, I really like that. It's so concise.
It is, isn't it?
Even if you haven't fleshed out every single detail, that structure gives you an instant roadmap.
Lets you sound organized and knowledgeable, even if you're building the answer as you go.
Makes total sense. And these structures, they're pretty versatile.
Yeah, problem solution benefit is great for tackling challenges.
Haha.
Now what works really well for explaining something, outlining why it matters, and suggesting next steps.
So the listener could think about which one might fit best in their own field or the kind of quick questions they usually get.
Exactly. Could you maybe even start mentally practicing applying one of them in potential scenarios? It makes them readily available when you need them.
These are definitely some incredibly useful, actionable insights. Okay, so wrapping up our deep dive for today. The big message really seems to be that good spontaneous speaking isn't necessarily about being super fast or, having the perfect words lined up instantly.
No, exactly. What we've pulled from the source is it's much more about being present in that moment.
Right.
And about being authentic and aiming for clarity, even when you're surprised.
And like any skill, it takes practice, doesn't it? It's not magic. It's about consciously working on it.
Definitely. Managing the pressure, reframing those moments, really listening, having those structures ready, it all adds up.
It gets better with effort.
And the source really encourages listeners, don't just hear this stuff. Think about how you can apply it.
Like a little challenge.
Yeah. Challenge yourself. The next time you're asked to speak unexpectedly, try just one of these things. See how it feels. That's how it sticks.
Good advice. So echoing the source's sentiment, stay calm, stay curious, and keep speaking up.
Well said.
And maybe just one final thought for everyone listening to mull over. Think back to the last time you had to speak off the cuff. Based on what we've talked about today, what's one small shift in mindset or approach you could realistically try next time?
If you like the channel and want me to continue, please write in the comments. Also, write your comments about the video. Please don't forget to like my video and subscribe to the channel. We love you very much. Everything is to improve our English together. We will succeed together.